So there's an easy mindset to fall into of, if I just made this amount of money, I would be happy. Or if I had this amount of money, I would be happy. But even research shows that that's not really how happiness works. So today, hopefully you're gonna learn 3 easy ways to break the I'll be happy when cycle so that you can find joy in the present. But before we jump in, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this episode with a friend. So there's a well-known study from Princeton University that measured the connection between money and happiness. And the findings suggest that emotional well-being, aka happiness, doesn't increase much beyond an income of $75,000 a year. Now, when the study was done, and if you take inflation in today's dollars, that would be a $100,000 income. So to me, it really proves this point that like convenience and comfort with money can only get you a level of happiness up to a certain point. So if that's true, then why do we still play this game of I'll be happy when? Well, 2 things really come to mind. Number 1 is that the world makes feeling content hard for us because we live in a world where discontentment is so real. Like we are seeing everyone's life all the time, things that we don't have. There's tons of conveniences now that we have that we didn't have even 10, 15 years ago. Everything from like getting your groceries delivered or like fill in the blank. And so there can be this feeling of I am behind because it feels like everyone else is winning. Everyone else feels like they are moving up in their jobs. They're making so much money. They're going on all these great vacations. They're living in these great homes. They're wearing cute clothes. Like they're doing all these great things. And for some reason, I don't feel like I'm catching up. And so what is so key to remember is like the world of marketing and online and social media and all the things together is going to make you feel discontent if you don't put the blinders on and not have a level of security and gratitude for where you are currently. Because that feeling of, oh, I'm so behind, and if I just had X, I would be okay. But the truth is, money and stuff, it just magnifies who we are. And so if you can find that contentment early on in life, it is so, so important. And number 2 is it's hard work to become truly content. So we throw that word out a lot, but I think it is one of the words that is one of the most important financial principles when it comes to our money, because contentment allows you to not only enjoy the life that you have with like actual true joy, but it also allows you to do things with money that are so important. I think content people can save more, they give more, they're okay cutting some lifestyle. Like this is not a means where what they have or how much they make is a part of them. There's a level of contentment in them that just says where I am presently, I'm good with. And not that you don't have like goals and you're, striving for more and all that's great. But this lie that bigger and better is somehow going to satisfy you is a lie. And in fact, that is what we continue to chase over and over in our American society. And also like you go with you and remembering that if I just had this, everything would be better. I would be happy if, X, Y, and Z were to happen. And the truth is that's not always the case. And I felt this when we were building our house. I'll never forget. I was pregnant with our 3rd kid. I had one in a high chair, one sitting up, and it was dinner time and stuff was just like, food was everywhere. One kid's like, I don't like this, and I'm just huge and pregnant. And I'm just like, oh my God. And we were building a new house in our old kitchen. Like you couldn't open up the oven and open up a drawer. Like it was a very tight kitchen. And I remember being like, I just can't wait to get to my new kitchen. Once we get to the new kitchen, everything's going to be better. And I remember Winston like turned around. He was like, yeah, babe, but there's still going to be like food on the floor in a dirty high chair and kids that don't like your cooking. Like that's still going to be the life. Like you pick up, you go with you regardless of the environment of where you are. And so that's what I love about contentment. It's more about the character of who you are, not all these external factors of our life. And the truth is with the, I'll be happy when mindset is you're always waiting for the future. You're not living in the present where you are. And once you get there, you get to that income or that amount of money or that car or whatever it is, then the goalpost just moves. And it's like, then the next finish line is out a little bit. And then you got to get to that. And you got to get to that and that and that. And you just keep living this life where you're just trying to get bigger and better. And again, it's exhausting. It is exhausting. And so that idea of contentment is so, so powerful with being joyful with where you are now. Now, before we dig into 3 mindsets that will give you lasting happiness, I want to tell you about one small thing that makes me pretty happy. and that is Delete Me. Yes, Delete Me is an incredible service that goes in and removes your information from online data broker websites, because you don't realize it, but so much of the information you put out online then can be sold to other companies, and then you get spammers and scammers, and it's just so annoying. So Delete Me goes in and deletes your information from the internet. So you can get an annual Delete Me plan for 20% off, which comes out to just $9 a month. So go to joindeleteme.com/Rachel or click the link in the description. All right, so let's reverse this I'll be happy when, and practice these 3 things. Number 1 is gratitude. Recognizing the blessings in your life is so key. So you may not have everything you want right now, but there are things in your life you can be grateful for. So focusing on that. And studies have been done. People that wake up and write a gratitude list of 3 things they're grateful for, truly, the brain chemicals in their body, it's amazing what happens from a chemical standpoint, physiologically, that people have more joy and more peace when they are grateful. And so gratitude is huge. Number 2 then is humility. And I love the quote that humility is not thinking less of yourself, but it's thinking of yourself less. Where other people in the world have value when you actually put some of your time, money, and energy into other people and not just yourself. Because it's going to be very easy to live a life where it's all about you, it's all about me, all the time, 24/7. All I'm thinking about is my life. And the moment you kind of set that down and you're like, no, maybe life's not all about me. Maybe it is about giving and serving. There's a level of joy that comes with that and that humility. And then out of that comes contentment. And contentment, again, it's not laziness. It's not apathy. You can still dream about things and want things. It's not a bad thing, but the idea that you have peace within your current situation, that you have peace with where you're at and you're good. And if other things happen that are bigger and better, that's great. But you don't need those things to satisfy you. But contentment is so huge in our I would be happy when culture. And I wrote the contentment journal about this because contentment is something that I for sure struggle with when it comes to stuff and money and all the things. And so it's a 90-day journey that really focuses on gratitude, humility, and contentment, because the emotional side of money, you guys, it is so, so important. Now, remember, this is all a gradual process, so you're not going to feel it overnight, but learning to change some of these mindsets is really going to help you. And some small habits that you can put in your life can be life-changing. So keep watching on my next video, 6 habits that improve your life and your money, or if you're listening on podcast, I'll put a link below. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.